So these 4 bullets represent the key best practices for row or aisle level airflow management. We'll get into much greater detail on each of these on some of the subsequent slides, but I wanted to do a quick overview right now. So the first thing is blocking off open spaces under the racks. So cabinets are often delivered with casters and levelers to aid with initial deployment. So if your cabinets have casters and levelers, then by default, you'll end up with a gap between the floor and the bottom of the rack, and blocking this gap is what we're referring to here. The second is sealing open spaces in the cabinet rows. So depending on site conditions, some layouts will end up with gaps between the racks due to support structures, other types of barriers in the room, or intentional space that's been left there for a future roll-in rack. Installing aisle end doors. So this prevents the wraparound mixing that will occur at the aisle ends if doors are not used. So doors are very important, and they're available in many designs from a variety of manufacturers, and we'll get into greater detail about doors on some of the subsequent slides. And lastly, the top of rack containment. So hot aisle containment typically features an above rack barrier around the perimeter of the hot aisle and typically extends upwards from the racks to the top of the ceiling, or vice versa from the ceiling down to the top of the racks. And cold aisle containment could involve a roof or a capped aisle or even a partially capped aisle that spans across the cold aisle. And again, more to come on both of these as we get into the presentation.
Nice. Thank you, Rob. So as we move from sealing smaller openings to larger and larger openings, let's start talking about doors, what everyone thinks of when they think of row containment. Doors are particularly important because cabinets at the ends of rows are really vulnerable to that exhaust air recirculating around the end of the row and causing elevated temperatures for the equipment at the in the cabinets at the end of the row. And doors are hugely beneficial whether or not a roof is installed. So as I'd like to say to people, if you have a limited budget, the first thing to do is buy blanking panels, and the next thing to do is buy doors. And then after that, think about a roof or baffles on top of the cabinets, because doors alone create a lot of benefits. So we'll take a look at a couple of different options for doors. We see on the image on the left, we've got a hot aisle and then a cold aisle. On the left, on the hot aisle, are upside bidirectional doors. And these are appropriate for 48-inch wide aisles and come in a variety of heights to match the height of the cabinets. And these attach magnetically. They're completely toolless. Take them out of the box, put them on the cabinets, and turn a couple of knobs, and the magnets engage, and these doors are held in place. And then you can walk through them. They swing in, they swing out. On the right, we see an example of a upside sliding door and a transom sitting on top of that to match the height of some taller cabinets. The sliding doors are also completely toolless, and it can be installed with a little bit of experience in approximately 3 minutes. It literally takes longer to take these products out of the packaging than it does to install them on an aisle, which makes them a very flexible solution. It enables a row to be contained, doors to go up on a row before the row is built out fully. Say a row is planned for 15 cabinets on each side, and only 5 are in place. Well, you can put up a door and contain the 5 cabinets on each side. And then when it's time to add more cabinets to the row, take the doors off and add the cabinets, put them back on. Just takes a few minutes. The baffles that are sitting on top of the cabinets, we'll talk about those in a few minutes.
Thanks, Lars. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the legacy, or what I'll refer to as mechanically attached examples. So there's a variety of doors on the market from a variety of manufacturers, right? And they all kind of boil down really into 2 different types. There's swing doors that, you and I are most familiar with in our homes and businesses. They're hinged, right? So there can be either a single swing door like you see On the left, you know, these are sometimes more custom sized for specific gaps. If you look at this one, right, it's going between a column and a rack, but it may even be just a share over or 24 inches wide. So that was a custom door that was made. People need to get in and out of that space. You see double swing doors in the middle, and then there's sliding doors. Sliding doors are very common, and they can come in single or double wide flavors as well. The single sliding doors, like you see in the picture, they're designed to either slide to the right to open or to the left to open. So this one would obviously slide to the left to open. This one also shows one of those return panels for an offset aisle. But the double sliding doors, very popular. They're made to accommodate a variety of different cabinet heights and widths of the doors or widths of the aisles. And the doors oftentimes come with a stay open feature so that you don't have to hold them open when you open them, and then either a slight tug or a quick push on the door, depending on which manufacturers you're using, they'll close automatically and gracefully shut so they don't slam into one another.